Hey, how you guys doing? I'm V.5. Yeah, and I'm on the Xbox One edition, and this is not really a super requested tutorial, but I thought, I might as well go ahead and do it. A lot of my latest videos just aren't getting the views like they used to, so I know why. It's because I'm not really doing redstone tutorials or anything like that anymore, which was why people watched me, and also on console. So I thought I would kind of do let's say a 5-in-1 tutorial, which basically this is version 5 elevator. Version 3 works on all as well, but there's big differences between version 5 and version 3, which I'll cover in the tutorial. Some of the other things too is that this is actually it's not orientational, but it does have to be if you're on a console. So we're talking PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, um, Xbox One, which is what I'm on. um, you will need to build it within a chunk. So there's going to be a link in the description and also in the comments showing you how to build it in a chunk. I will mention it again when we start on the tutorial. Now I'm not going to be doing the tutorial on the Xbox One edition. Yeah, just out of the fact that I need hoppers to do this for the PC version. But anyway, let's go ahead and check it out. So some of the things I improved is that this elevator um, pretty much doesn't really work with wood buttons, the version 3. I mean, it does, but it requires a little timing fix, which I included in this so that it'll work in the future and just keep on working after that. It is also a lot smaller than version 3. It stays within the 7 by 9 area. This is an optional thing you can do, which is an on and off switch for the magic button. As you can see, is stone, but we could use wood, which I'll show you here in a sec. So I wanted to cover some of the things about this elevator that I included in on it. Now a lot of people don't understand why I do a 3 high entryway. The reason why is that if there is a bug, for instance, if I was offset, it should throw me out. If it doesn't throw me out, then that's good. But if it does throw me out, as you can see, I was way off on the centering. If it does throw me out, though, yeah. So anyway, on the left side, you can see that this bottom piston stays up a lot longer than it used to. And in laggy situations, you would take a half a heart's fall damage. So I fixed that for survival. The other thing we're going to be looking at is obviously wooden buttons. So you can use either or on this, and that would be on anything, console, PC, whatever. We're also in this tutorial going to be looking at how you can change this. I've mentioned it before that this has 6 speeds to choose from on the red circuit, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to speed it up, slow it down, and we've added on this little top circuit here so that you can use wooden buttons or stone buttons or whatever. So here's some other features about this elevator, and that is that it has instant extension. What is instant extension? It means that you don't have to wait for it to come up to you like this, as you can see. I can just go ahead and take it on down at a nice safe speed. Everything's cool. And then, yeah, I can instantly extend it back up, let's just say. No waiting for it. And it's the same on the bottom. So when I hit this button here, it's just going to retract from the bottom up, allowing you to get in a lot quicker. And so there's no waiting. So yeah, that's actually why this elevator is the size that it is. Without it, it would actually only be, it would still be 7, but it would be 1 block smaller. So this is probably the smallest instant extension, instant retraction elevator that you can make. So all we got to do now is just jump onto the PC and start on the tutorial. Alright, so now that we're back onto the PC, yeah, go ahead and start the tutorial. I'm going to do this one slightly different because we do need to do 2 different versions. Now I was actually just going to wait until they came out with the 1.6.4 version for console before doing this, but I decided, what would be the purpose of that. So the only differences between the 360 version and the PC version is that we have hoppers. So if you guys basically, if you have hoppers and you're watching this, this is the old technique. This is the more modern that it just works better and it loads a lot less chunks. But this is how we're actually going to be able to get that feature right here, which is to have a button retract the elevator. Now that's actually on the off position, which I should probably show you guys. I have it powered so that it's, yeah. Anyway, when it is running, it will cause it to do a too high button, and so that's what this does. By the redstone powering right next to the piston, it allows it to magically extend like that. So yeah, it's the only differences, and this would be the 360 equivalent. So we'll be putting that in at almost the end of the tutorial. And of course, I'm going to leave it with the option to do it like we did a long time ago, which is to have the button on the outside. It is doesn't require a clock, so it's a lot less laggy. So it is an option you guys may want to consider. So I'm going to do this tutorial slightly different than we have done it in the past, and that is I'm going to go ahead and lay down the foundation with you guys. Yeah, I'm going to lay down the foundation with you so that you guys can basically have something to build off of it. So the dimensions of the hole that we need is 9 by 7 by 2 down, and you need 1 block space. So if there was bedrock and you guys wanted to build this all the way up to the top of the world, you'd want to leave 1 block space. So in the front of the elevator, which would be here, you want to just go in here and basically remove all of this, put purple wool. The wool is optional, by the way. Redstone, like that. So from here, 2 blocks like that, and then you'll need redstone running into it, repeater, and then some redstone. Then we're going to go ahead and put green here, and then purple, purple, and just purple like that. And then yellow around the back of the hole. And this is just where we're going to be laying the circuitry, so it gives you a nice place to know that you're accurate on your stuff. So next thing to do is green blocks like that, repeater here and here, just like that. This one does require timings. We're going to go ahead and put 4 ticks on it, and then right in front of it a sticky piston facing upwards with a block on it. This is going to be our monostable, and then sticky piston with a red block. So should have this. So before we go, getting all crazy, let's go ahead and just look at it real quick. So when you power this redstone line, it will actually fling this block over, and it's supposed to do that. This is a sticky piston. It's supposed to do that. So each time you hit the button, it either sends the elevator up or down. So just wanted to show you that. And then there's going to be another one. So in front of this, we need a torch, and then right next to it, that would be dead center of 7. So you should be able to count 3 and 3 on each side. So that would be the 4th block in. And then just go ahead, put a yellow block on it. Redstone here, block here, and then you'll need a repeater and block with redstone. And this is going to do the exact same thing. Yeah, let me actually grab a button. This is how I was able to get this circuit to just be super simple. So as you can see, when this is added in, it does that. So we're going to be putting redstone here, which as you can see would cause it to malfunction. So in order to prevent that from happening, we actually need to use a half slab. So half slab there with some redstone on it, and yeah, we'll just leave it like that for now. So where the hole is, we'll need to go 1, 2, and 3 with 3 red blocks, and then we will need to put 2 light blue like that. I'm going to go ahead and do our pink circuit. So the next step of this is to basically get our power for the magic levers. So on bedrock, or or not, depending on how you guys do it, 2 repeaters, and then we'll need a lever on the on position so that when a block gets put down in here from the magic button, it will either turn the elevator on or off, as you can see. So there you go. Alright, So next thing, right here where these repeaters are, four pink wool, and then you're going to need to go like this. As you can see, redstone, 2 repeaters, just like that, and that part's done. So next thing we need to do is our blue circuit, and this is going to be like this. Just like that. So to prevent any kind of weird updates, we're going to go ahead and put a repeater here and put it on 2 ticks like that. Alright. So there will also be, you'll need a repeater here with a red block. So that's like layer 1, if you will. So the next thing that we need, alright, so we just need one more indicator, and that is right here. We need a green block, and that's just to let us know where the green circuit's going to connect. And since we're in here, we need to go ahead and put a repeater here, and it needs to face that direction, and that is going to be the return for our down circuit. You don't really need to know why, but it'll just make things easier. So this is what you should have now in our 9x7 hole. So if you guys want a deck, obviously you could just do this if you wanted, and that would be plenty of room, but I like it to look symmetrical. So I'm going to go ahead and put a deck in here just so it looks cool like that. Alright, so next step here is to go ahead and put 2 sticky pistons there with blocks on them, 2 non-stickies. So the first ones are for the safety rail. There we go. So that's what we should be looking at. The first ones are for the safety rail, the pistons, and these ones are the ones that are actually going to be lifting you up. So right here, we need to do something different, and that is we need a top slab here, like that. And go ahead and delete the block next to it because we're going to need that room. And that is pretty much the lower circuitry. We'll be filling it in with the other circuits, but we should finish the structure first. So let me go ahead and grab what we need. So at the end of this video, if I have enough time, I'm going to show you guys how you can extend it, and we're also going to be looking at how you can change the speeds of the elevator. It has 6 speeds to choose from, but I'll do that at the end of the video if you guys are interested. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then come out 3 like that, and then 11, 12, 13, and 14. Come 4 over, and then just bring that down. So if you guys are interested, at the end of the video as well, when I'm done doing the magic button, I will show you how you can just put in the standard button if you don't like the magic button. So anyway, go ahead and skip your blocks like that. That is for our indicator light, which is an optional thing. You don't actually have to put it in, but it's really up to you guys. I myself like it because I've seen it be necessary. So we can go ahead and just put our deck here to stand on when we're up on our elevator, like that. Go ahead and grab redstone lamps and put it there and there. Alright, so to show you guys how simple it is, before we go any further, I wanted to show you what's involved. All we're really talking about is 2 blocks here with 1 repeater, and then we need an inverted signal here, and this pretty much finishes off our indicator light system. It connects to the green circuit, so it's super simple. So I'd recommend putting it in now because it's just easier. So one of the other things before we build the elevator shaft that's probably easier to do if you're in survival is to go ahead and do your light blue circuit, which is basically every other block like this. And you actually only need it to come to right there. And then we need torches on them, like that. And then all of them that aren't lit need a block on them like this with redstone. Just like that. So that's going to be part of the instant retraction circuit. So now that we got that all in, we can go ahead and finish our build here. So we're going to need glass and whatever material you're making this out of. The wool is not necessary. it is actually just so you don't get confused and you can see which circuit is which. It also helps me not to get confused, so, but it's not absolutely necessary. So this is something that's very important, and a lot of people ask me about it. A lot of people changed it and couldn't figure out why they were getting stuck, and it's because it's supposed to have a 3-high entryway. You do not want to put blocks here. You'd rather this elevator kick you out than get stuck in it. And so if it's a really laggy room, the 3-high entryway will make it so you just pop out, which can happen randomly. So the next thing to do is to go ahead and put blocks like that. And we need to bring these up and match them to the top floor. So exactly 10 blocks. So it should look like that. And we need to do the same on this side. Just like that. So now we can go ahead and put in our piston system. This is what's going to lift us. So on the left side, and then every other. Just like that. And then non-stickies. And then blocks in between. I think it makes it look nice. So the next thing to do is everywhere there is not a piston, we need a block. So like this. And then on this top one, you will not need anything there. You just want to leave it with a spacer and put those in like that. We want to do the same on the other side. So because we put this circuit in, you do want to drop that repeater in, then do every other. And make sure that you have all your repeaters. So like that. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing for you. If you're not sure, it should be just like that. So exactly like we have on the other side, except for it's one level down. So just want to make sure that you guys get this on your first try. So that is the elevator shaft and all that. So now we can go ahead and just put in this. And that's it. So there is some major differences. Like I did mention in the showcase that you can use stone or wood buttons. But there is some timing adjustments that you need to make only when it's on slow speed, which I'll cover on that. So that is where our buttons are going to go. And I'll show it to you with both buttons and show you the differences in them. So, alright. The next thing we need to do is finish off our blue circuit. So this has a pulse, or it has a two time system on it, which is basically gives you an instant on, or 1 tick delayed on, followed by a pulse extender. So it gives you 2 different timings, and then the half slab prevents a lot of updating of this piston, and I don't know why it would ever do that with a solid block, but this seems to fix that. So we have all of our lower stuff done. Go ahead and put a torch here and put that in. This is going to invert the signal, and you'll see now that it shows the top is up, which is what you want, because we're going to be building the red circuit right after this. But getting that out of the way should be cool. And then what we want to do is just basically just repeat this pattern all the way up. So right where there isn't a piston, you want to fill that gap in with blue wool. Now I'm using this blue wool because the original designer used it, and also CMB Minecraft, and also Cube Hamster. He just used lapis, but blue is kind of a way to say that the original guy that figured this out, you know, the timings and stuff, yeah, just kind of like a keep it the way it's always been thing. So we'll need a repeater here on 4 ticks, a dab of redstone, and 1 yellow block. That's going to be part of our selection system, and we'll get into that later. Anyway, behind every piston and right next to it, we need 2 repeaters like that on both sides, like that. And then we're going to need to put timings, and yeah, so 4 ticks and then 3 pieces of redstone, and we'll just do that on both sides like this. Yeah, you do not want to miss this timing here, because it will leave the piston out. So we'll double check it, you want to do the same thing like this. There you go. Alright, hopefully that wasn't too hard to follow. Alright, so on this side, we need another set of repeaters powering the other side. This is what controls the speed between each side. So we're doing this on the high speed, and then later on I'll show you how to slow it down, which that is part of it. So, alright, so you'll probably want to dig this area out because we're going to need access to this, at least while testing. So the next thing to do is to put a repeater here with a block and a block there and one there, just like that. This one will need redstone, this one and this one, just like that. This way we don't really have to get in there too much more. So anyway, let's go ahead and get our red circuit completely fixed, or completely in or installed. So the installation of this, this is what controls the speed of how fast the elevator lifts you. So I'd recommend just, following me here. You want blocks exactly where I have them. Just like that. And we're going to need repeaters going all the way down like that. Then we'll need repeaters going up just like that. And then we're going to need to put torches on all these going up. And then you don't need one up here. And what we're going to go ahead and do is put the elevator on the up position. So just move this block and you should see what it does first thing. So when you hit the button, the first thing that happens is the safety rail comes up and this piston lifts you. It's very important to know that, because this is the piston you want to be standing on when you're riding this elevator, because it's going to lift you, and then the one right there is going to come out and lift you. Just want to show you guys that. It is how piston elevators work. And then the next thing that's going to happen is the next two, and so on. So that's all you need, like that. Right, so that's red circuit completed. Now we need our green circuit, which is to control the down. So this is a 2-in-1 circuit. So basically, not only does it connect our green circuit, it also controls our lights. So when the elevator is in the up position, it'll indicate when it's up. When it's in the down position, it will indicate the opposite of that, which is cool. So it's just built in, it's automatic. So no more circuitry for that. Alright, so back to the green circuit. So this will get a little confusing here, but as long as you have your repeaters like I have here, it should be cool. So 4 ticks of delay is perfect for high speed, but we will need to change those. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is knock this area out so that I can adjust that for you, and show you how you'd want to adjust the timing for when you're using wood buttons. So yeah, it's very strange, but anyway, so we'll need a repeater here and here, and we can go ahead and just build this pattern just like that. Pretty simple. There's plenty of ways you guys can do this. I'm doing it more like if you guys were on the console edition, but yeah. And this just needs to come up till it's level with the yellow circuit, like that. And this should work out the same on every time you build it. So, which I said I'll cover that at the end. So we got to do something slightly different here. So we want to add a green block here with a repeater. And this is part of the button system. So there's a selecting system we're going to build on top of the elevator. Because we need to use wood or stone buttons, we need to create a pulse lengthener in the circuit itself. So right here we need a repeater on 4 ticks, and right here we need another repeater facing the same direction on no delay with redstone, like that. So that's going to create a pulse extender. And then below that, we need to face these repeaters towards the back of the elevator, like this, all the way down. Then we need to do the same up. And then to avoid any confusion, we're going to want to add below this one, and only below it, 2 ticks delay all the way down till you get to the bottom, like that, and then we need 4 on this side. So just like that. And then we need redstone. And this redstone is what allows the signal to travel down, making the elevator go in the reverse order. So yeah, that's all done. So next thing to do is our yellow circuit, which is instant extension. And then we'll top it off with the button selection system. Alright, so when I made this, go ahead and remove that. I wanted to make it so that you'd always have access to these repeaters if you wanted to slow down the elevator. But my first video, I just didn't have the time to do it. I mean, I did, but the longer your video is, the less likely people are going to watch it. Who wants to spend 45 minutes? Hopefully people enjoy this and do want to spend the amount of time that I spent making it. But anyway, yeah, just follow me and copy what I got on here. So we should have this now. It's the yellow circuit for instant extension. And we're going to need redstone here and a block with a block on it, just like that. Repeater here. So as you can see, we kind of got the same setup for the yellow and this. So next thing we need to do is go ahead and put redstone all the way up, except for on this top one. We ain't going to need that there. And then we're going to need repeaters facing towards the right, all the way down, and you won't need one down there because that's where the piston extends. So what we need to do now is that this is facing right, which is going to power the monostable and this block. So we need to have the repeater basically go like this: left, right, left, right, and left. Right. And then down the center we need redstone on each of these. Be careful not to add a tick onto these. And all the way down. And then every repeater that's facing towards the left needs a dab of redstone below it, like that. That just saves redstone. If you're not sure, you can put redstone on all of it. So the next thing we need to do is add in the pulse extender, which we need to create them on both, and that is specifically for 360 console stuff. So go ahead and put 4 ticks on there, 2 on there, and then we'll need redstone, just like that. So that is our yellow circuit instant extension all done. So people complained about this before, and that is we're going to go ahead and just test it. So now that we have the pulse extender, we're going to use a stone button. I'm going to show you what this does. It powers the entire circuit, so it's very heavily dependent on these directions being correct. If this repeater was facing the wrong direction, it would never power the monostable, telling that piston to retract or to not retract. So you should see it do that. So when it's in the down position and you hit this button, it should instantly extend up and stay up. If it doesn't do that, check the repeaters on this side, because the way that this works is this button powers this redstone, travels this way, and just keeps traveling like this all the way until it gets down. And then this tells the elevator to shut off. And it's the same with the green circuit. This is the power block, if you will, same as that one. It adds 5 ticks delay onto a stone button to guarantee that in the future we're not going to have any problems. So now that we got that all wrapped up, we can go ahead and work on the top circuit, which is the selector circuit. So first thing we need to do is come over here and put a block with a torch on it. These are going to be both activated at the same time by this redstone. And then we need that. We need a repeater here on 4 ticks, a repeater here on 4 ticks with redstone. So right here, sticky piston, and then we will need a yellow block on it. Yellow block here, and then in front of this repeater, green block with a torch on it, sticky piston, and block. And same here. So we'll need redstone here. So to prevent updating, you cannot put a solid block here, and I'll show you why. Just show you. If we were to put constant power here and you touch this, it makes it bud. So it would be either extended or not, depending on the situation. So to prevent that from happening, we need to put a half slab or glowstone. It's really up to you which one you want. So 3 pieces, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and test this as well since we're here. When the elevator's down, it will extend it up. When the elevator's up, it's going to send it down at a safe speed. This little selector circuit, as you can see, gives plenty of time between changing, which is something I had an issue with a while back on certain updates. So yeah, this will fix all that, and it's also adjustable in the future. You can adjust how long it stays on for and so forth. So anyway, that's all wrapped up. This is pretty much completed. We just need the magic button. So yeah, for those of you that don't want the magic button, I'm going to show you how you can just do it the old way. And that is to basically delete this block and this one. Put a button there, redstone, and then whatever block you want, and that will send it up and down without any clocks running, lag free. It's really up to you guys. But I like the magic button, and my computer can definitely handle it, so we're going to go ahead and just do the magic button. So from the middle of the deck, go ahead and delete all that out there and go 2 blocks down. Just like that. Delete that block. This is where our magic button is. So delete here. Sticky piston. I'm going to go ahead and use birch for this circuit. So we got birch there. Now this is the 360 version that hopefully will be out of date. So yeah, by the time you guys see this, so you can just skip to where you see me putting hoppers in. Torch. Now we want this clock to be on the off position by default. The reason why is that on console there is a chance for this to lock up, and if it does, we need to restart it by here. So basically follow me on this here, just like that, and then you want to block here. Then we're going to go ahead and grab redstone lamps. You don't need them, but if you want to know if the clock's frozen, you probably will want to use them, because it does happen on console. So that's what you should have. Now you could run this input, you could get it off of here if you wanted to, and run it like here. It's really up to you, but I like it like this. So when it's on, you can see that the clock's working. When it's off, it's off. This will limit a lot of lag. For instance, when these are running, it probably makes this load 15 or 16 chunks, and then when it's off, you can see that it drops down to nothing. So this clock right here that's in front of us actually loads a lot of chunks. It's one of the reasons why you'd only want to use it on console. As you can see, it went up to 177 and it's running 14. Now I am going across some chunks here, so yeah, that is the 360 version that will work for right now. Now if you guys are on the 1.6.4 equivalent, all you'll need to do is just basically get rid of this stuff, leave that redstone, go ahead and grab yourself a comparator, put it there like that, get rid of this redstone, torch. We can go ahead and put our hopper clock in just like that, and then we can fill this in. No reason to have this here, and we want to just throw an item in there like that. Doesn't matter what item it is. So this one works the same. So yeah, when it's on, it indicates when it's on, which you don't really need, not on the PC version. I have seen it before where this had frozen up, but that was because there was 2 items in it. So on the PC you only need that. So now we just need to do a little quick ride on it and test it and look at some different stuff, and then I'll show you guys how to slow it down, and I'll give you guys some pointers on how to extend it. Other than that, this is pretty done. We'll go ahead and write it. Now I'm going to show you that there's some big differences between stone and wooden buttons. I forgot to turn this on. So just to show you guys what goes on here with this, when you actually hit the button, it extends down, completing the circuit and sends power, if you guys didn't know already. So yeah, right, hit the button. You should see that it retracts a lot quicker than it would if it was to go in the reverse order. So just get in here and get mildly centered, hit your button. It should take you right up, no problems, nice and smooth. Which is all great for host, but if you're on an SMP server or if you're on an Xbox Live server, this is not going to work for friends. It's just too fast. So we're going to go ahead and slow it down. So what we want to do here is basically put 4 delay on all of these. And each one of these can be adjusted to make it faster or slower. It really just depends upon what you want. But I'm going to say that if you're on SMP, this is what you need to do. So in the blue circuit here, we need all of these on 4. And that is to get it at the slowest speed. Now, if you're using stone buttons, there's no more adjustments you need to do. And I'll show you. It's just going to be slower. And it should be a lot slower and really smooth. As you can see, very smooth. If this thing was lagging, I could jump, I could spin, whatever I needed to do on it. Pretty cool. Alright, so big differences happen though as soon as you put wooden buttons on this, because it gives 15 ticks delay. One of the biggest issues is this button stays activated for 15 ticks. So we need to adjust this circuit over here to compensate. So we have 4, so we need at least 2 ticks on it. And we're going to check this because I've done it, but it's just, you know, it's kind of weird and it depends on orientation, so you might have to actually manually adjust it yourself. It's just strange stuff with console and PC. So we'll see how this takes us up. Nice and smooth. Perfect, right? If I didn't have that delay there, it would kick me out every single time and you would not be able to figure out that what was happening was the wooden button was actually causing this piston to extend early, causing you to just get popped out of the elevator. I'll go ahead and show you that. Now I'm going to tell you it's random, but with no delay it's less than 6 ticks. So it should actually kick me out, but let's just check it and see. I mean, you may or may not need to do it, and there you go. So that's what kind of effect you can have from just a wood button, because it's out longer. So I just wanted to show you guys that if you guys have any problems with it. I love wooden buttons, so 4 and 3 here is the perfect timings for me anyway. So as far as covering, you can go and cover here and here, not there, but on top, and that's wrapped up. You could bury this all in if you liked it on the slow speed. You would not need to do anything more to it. So if you guys are still watching this, you guys obviously want to make this up to as tall as you can. So one of the things that I covered in my first tutorial for this was that the pistons, let me get rid of this stuff here. Obviously you guys don't need to do this. This is so you guys can extend it. So the way that this is designed, this elevator, is the circuitry matches up with the piston being on the right side from the front. Or if you're looking at it from the back, this should be your tallest piston. So if your piston was actually facing this direction, none of the circuitry would match up. So what does that mean? It means that you need to make your pistons in equivalence of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Which is all great, but if we wanted to make this elevator just 12 tall, I'm going to show you guys some weird stuff. Because of the way the circuit's designed and it needs to match up, you can't just hook it up at every block. It's got to be every 2 blocks, so either 10 or 12. Unfortunately, if you guys were to do that, it will match up different on the yellow circuit. Which, this is easy. If you're extending it, you're obviously got some decent redstone skills. Okay, so go ahead and recreate what we had before. So this is at 12 blocks. You can automatically see there's something going to be wrong with this, and that is the repeater is going to be facing the wrong direction, which will not power this redstone. If I was to power this, like we did before with the selector circuit, it's not going to go nowhere. It's not even going to do anything. So a simple fix for that is that if it works out on this kind of a situation, all you need to do is just put redstone like that, and that will make it work. Now it will send the power down all the way. Just showing you guys. So this only happens every increments of 4. So if you were to say for instance 10, and then we went to the next block height, which would be 14. I'm going to go ahead and put it at 14 for you guys. So we would have a sticky piston here, and there would be another one right here, and our blue circuit would be up here. So at this height, it should actually match up perfectly. So if you had built it at 14 blocks tall, the repeater is going to match up correctly. So as a rule of thumb, if you guys are looking for it, the best thing to do is to either make it, don't make it at 12, make it at 14 or 18 or 22, if that makes any sense to you guys. That way it always matches the same, but if you need to, you can always add on that little patch I showed you. But this would work out, and a 14 tall elevator is probably a little bit better than that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's a little bit longer, but it is probably my favorite elevator now. Seriously, I really like my other elevator. I do. I like it a lot. Version 3 is my most popular, but I know I can do better. I know I can do better than this one. It's just going to take me some time working on it to figure it out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can micro manage or micro adjust this elevator. For instance, you can go half speed, but what I mean by half speed is that all of these repeaters can be put on one tick, making it multiplayer friendly still, but maybe not like if you had 3-bar connection, that'd probably be the maximum that you could ride the elevator. But you could put all of these, so it would basically be I believe that would be 4, 5, 6 tick delay. 6 ticks delay before it extends you. The thing that sucks is that it changes. For instance, 4 ticks will work. Like you can leave it on 4 ticks if you want it to run on half speed. But you could also, and you may actually run into an issue where, depending on your orientation, you may need to put it on 3 ticks. So this is just a little bit extra for you guys that want to know more. This will either kick me out or take me right up, and as you can see, it works perfect on 4 ticks delay. Now obviously we didn't get an extension on that, and that is because the circuit's not completed. But anyway, there you go. So I wanted to show you guys that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Comment, like, and subscribe, and have a good one. Later.